Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We are the Agents of Helm, back with you for another episode of High Entertainment, Low Morals. I am Malik, and I'll be your moderator for this evening's podcast. And with me, I have all of the agents. And when I say all, I mean all of the agents. Yes, we have Joe,
What's up, people?
and we have Johanna,
Hey.
and we have Lorenzo.
Hey there, Malik.
And last but not least, the prodigal son returns. LeBron James comes back to Cleveland, ladies and gentlemen. Taylor has returned to the podcast, even if it's for one night. He has returned. Taylor, say hi to the people.
Hello, folks. It's good to be back.
Yeah, so
Good to be back.
all you women that have been asking me and crying about Taylor not showing up to the podcast, you should now be happy, at least for the next hour and a half of your life. So today's episode is episode 29. As I mentioned, I'll be the moderator, and we will be talking about superpowers. And Johanna mentioned this to me, so I'm going to have to say it's superpowers with the exclamation points. Real and imagined. So we've introduced the agents, and now I want each agent to go down the line and tell me what are your 3 favorite superpowers. Now, we're not talking about heroes, so I don't need to know the hero that's associated to the power, just the power itself, that ability, that skill that you respect or that you like the most. So without further ado, let's start out with Joe.
All right, so the my 3 favorite superpowers would be 1, the ability to mimic other superpowers. 2, healing factor, and 3, flight. Those
Now,
would be my 3.
why those 3?
Well, mimic powers, I really only need that one because everybody I come in contact, I'll be able to take their powers. So that's the top dog one.
How many people do you know with powers, Joe?
I don't know. Have you ever noticed that when you have powers, you always seem to run into other people with powers? It just happens. In every comic book, in every movie, you just always run into those people. It just happens. You
There's
attract
no
them.
guarantee that their powers are going to be something that you would want. Like, they might just all have
matter.
crappy powers.
I could just take them anyway. You know, it's better to have more power than less power. Lorenzo.
Wait, do you keep all the powers then? Or are you just like a
No,
Hoover
they wear
vacuum
out.
that-
He's a parasite.
Typically wear out.
I'm gonna keep them.
Okay.
No, I don't think you get to keep
Just like
them,
Peter
Joe.
Petrelli in Heroes. I'm gonna keep them.
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, because you're gonna take their brains. Is that?
No, that was Siler. Siler. Like Peter Petrelli in Heroes, I'll be able to mimic and keep the powers. Anyway, and what was your question, Malik? Back to your question. What was that? After.
No, it was. Why did you
Why?
choose those 3 in particular?
Oh, okay. Like I said, mimic powers because if I run into somebody I like their power, I get to keep it. Healing factor, so obviously, so I'll never be severely injured, and if I am, my body will heal in time. And flight, just so I don't have to take a plane, man. I just just jump in the air and just go where I want to go.
Okay. All right. I will wait to weigh in on those until after everybody's done theirs, because you might have duplicated some. Okay, Johanna.
All right, so the first power is immortality and eternal youth. You got to put them together or else you'll be an old person who is old for eternity. I would also like the ability to either fly or to transport myself very quickly. And I would also like the ability to selectively read minds. I know most people are like, well, you don't really want to read minds. I'm selectively. Like, I'm looking at you. I want to know what you're thinking. Which I've realized now are all the powers that many vampires have. So maybe I just want to be a vampire.
Are you trying to glamour us right now?
Yes, I'm going to glamour all of you.
So you said immortality and youth. You said teleportation.
Mm-hmm.
And what was the third one?
Telepathy. Selective telepathy.
Selective telepathy.
Actually, you could turn into a bat, and that would count.
As what? As being able to teleport?
Well, you didn't say teleport. You said fly.
Yeah, fly or... Well, I don't know about fly because I'm afraid of heights. So teleport is probably more my speed.
All right.
All right. Lorenzo, give me your 3.
Okay. So, I like web slinging. You know, that's I think me and Joe have talked about this. Of course, Spider-Man can web sling.
So you got the
One of
powers
my
of a
favorite
spider?
Bionic Commando
Okay.
from Nintendo, and he had the ability. He had one bionic arm that he could shoot out and then swing with. But I think my own thing personally, what I would like is the ability to create like a really dense ball of gravity, and then be able to move that ball around like as I want. And so basically, I would be transported by my own little gravity well that would like allow me to kind of swing and fly through the air. Because I always had a problem with how Superman flies. It just doesn't seem realistic to me. And so I would want a more realistic way to fly, and also I would want to be able to put a little pizzazz in it. So that would be, I think that would be how I would want to fly. As far as time goes, I think what I would be more interested in is being able to stop time. So I would want the ability to control time, and I even have a character that I thought of, and his name would be Zeno. Zeno named after the Zeno that came up with Zeno's arrow, which is the idea that you can never really get somewhere because you have to get halfway there, and before you get halfway there, you have to get halfway to the halfway point, and that just goes on into infinity. And so the idea being you can never actually get to where you want to go. So I would be able to like slip into that infinity, the infinity of the minuscule amounts of distance and time, and be able to control that and freeze it. I saw that in an episode of Star Trek where Captain Picard was just like he embraced the moment, and then time just kind of stopped. I would like to be able to do that. And yeah.
Sorry,
Mhm.
Lorenzo. So you're saying you can't go exactly where you're always trying to go all the time? Because that sounds just like NJ Transit to me, really.
Oh,
Well, no. What it is that I would be able to like. So say you pulled out a gun, right, and you were able to fire a bullet at me. The bullet would never reach me because the bullet would have to get halfway to me, and before that, it would have to get halfway to that, and before it would get halfway to that, and so on. It's like a paradox that I would be able to exploit, so that I could then, because in reality, if you shot a bullet at me, it would hit me and maybe kill me. But if I had the ability to control time, then it would go into like bullet time, and I would have like an infinite amount of time to react to you shooting a bullet at me.
So basically, you'd be the Japanese dude from Heroes, right?
Well,
What
he's a
the?
hero.
He could freeze time and he could teleport. So, and not just that, he could actually what it was he had the ability to control his place in time and space. So he could go back in time, yeah, and then he could also stop time, and then he could also reappear wherever he wanted to appear, which is awesome in itself. I think that his power was really cool. The problem with being able to go back in time is that you start to like create multiple universes and all these paradoxes,
I've seen the
and then it
butterfly
becomes
effect.
like right, it becomes like Ashton Kutcher and Butterfly Effect, and then you have no
Everyone
arms.
wants to do that. Yeah, exactly. No one wants to have no arms when it's all said and done.
So what I would be more interested in is just being able to like stop time, because I feel like time goes by too fast, and so
Mhm.
I would want to be able to like just slow things down a little bit.
Like
And then
stoppers.
clock stoppers, right? Like the girl from what was that show called? My Dad's an Alien, or do you remember the show, Joe, where the girl touched her fingers together and time would stop?
Oh, vaguely. I can't. Yeah.
Yeah.
I do remember that. Yeah.
They used that song. Well, anyway, and then the third power would be mind control. With the full, I will completely admit that if I had that power, I would be very evil. I would totally be corrupted, go to the dark side. Because, I mean, in reality, it doesn't really matter what you're thinking if I can control what you're thinking. So, the whole Jedi mind trick, I would have that. and be able to just make everybody do what I wanted them to do. Yeah, and the problem with that is that I would totally become evil. I would misuse that power. Whereas if I had the power to control time, I think I might try being a superhero. And if I had the power to fly, I think I would probably just fly around and just be like freelance.
Okay.
What I did notice, though, was that these powers are also available as vehicles. So, like the Millennium Falcon, I could drive. The DeLorean, I could control time with. And the Heart of Gold, with the improbability drive from Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, would allow me to change reality. And so that's even better than controlling people's minds.
Okay. Taylor, you're up.
All right, so Joe, I'm definitely with you on this mimicry of powers. I think where you're Peter Petrilli, I'll probably have to be more along Siler's grain, and I think his power is called like intuitive aptitude or something like that. Like he can figure out anything by looking at it. So the way how Siler got most of his powers was eating people's brains and understanding how their brain functioned in relation to their power. Now, with that said, I'll probably need to really increase my palate and work on my cooking skills. Maybe end up going along the same line as Hannibal. Not into the whole eating people thing. If I had to get the powers, at least let's make a tasty dish.
No, well, so I actually have a quick question about that, Taylor. If you're eating people's brains, does that still make you a vegetarian?
Yeah, you know.
No, of course not.
I mean, there's no meat in the brain, is there?
Yes, there is.
I thought the brain was meat.
I mean, is it? Yeah, I guess so. Yeah.
It's flesh.
It's not like
the epitome of flesh. That's what zombies want when they're going for flesh.
Yeah, so you can't do that, Taylor.
Stuff.
You're not staying true to the pescatarian way.
Yeah, I'll have to figure. That's part of the whole intuitive aptitude thing. I'll figure out a way to be a vegetarian cannibal.
Mixed it with a little tofu.
Well, some fritas. Just go to Chipotle.
Yeah.
Can you put this in my burrito, please?
Hey, Taylor, I have a question about just in general vegetarian belief systems. So, if you were to be, what is it called? Is it bulimic? Is that the name for the meat disorder? Where you just throw things up?
Yeah.
Or is it,
Yeah.
yeah. So, if you were bulimic, could you like eat meat and still be a vegetarian?
No, because I mean, technically, if you're like, cut and dry vegetarian, you shouldn't even be eating things that are cooked in, meat broth and things like that. So, still going inside you at some point.
Yep.
And by the time
Right,
you ingest it, you're still taking in most of the nutrients from it.
I mean, you don't hork everything up. I mean, some of the residuals do stay in your body. It's just that most of the caloric content is horked up.
Yeah.
Technical term, horked.
So, at what point does it become like not being a vegetarian? So, like, if you were to lick a piece of beef, would that then be un-vegetarian?
Yes, you'd still be consuming some form of meat.
Okay, you just got really close to the beef, and then you just smelled it, right? So then, like, the molecules are going into your receptor.
Wait a minute. I have a question. What's Taylor's second superpower?
Way to get us on track.
Thank you, Johanna. I actually wanted to see how far down the rabbit hole Lorenzo was going to go. We can definitely continue on. Go ahead, Taylor.
The second power, telekinesis. I mean, if any of you have seen Chronicle, there's obviously a lot more going on than just being able to lift up like a chair that's next to you, or bringing over your microwave dinner to you without actually having to walk over to it. You can increase your strength. You can have the ability to fly with telekinesis. You can create force fields around you. So it's a lot of possibilities with that. And then my last and probably most favorite power of all this is materialization. Green Lantern's power. I mean, the only thing he's limited by is how much he's charged up his batteries and his creativity. I will be working with Duracell batteries, so I should be fine.
I do like the materialization. I was wondering if anybody was gonna come up with that one. Just because you can pretty much make whatever you want. I really do like the the mind control though, Lorenzo. I mean, to make people be able to do exactly what it is that you want when you want them to do it.
Oh man, I would abuse the hell out of it. You know I would.
Yeah, no,
you
look,
would too.
and I would
Me
too.
and you.
Oh my god,
Me and
I'd be the worst. I would literally be. Do you understand? I wouldn't walk anywhere. Like I'd be carried everywhere I go. I'd literally be carried all over the city, on the train. I don't want to sit there. You should sit.
Malik, you wouldn't have to go. You wouldn't have to go anywhere. You would just have everybody bring everything to you, like everything, anything you wanted, like a pyramid. You could just have them. You would have everybody just bring you a pyramid.
Isn't like one of the major downfalls of mind control that you get like severe migraines and eventually your head explodes or something like that? Every single TV show and movie I've seen ultimately ends up with somebody in a near-death or comatose experience from it.
No, think about Jedis. Jedis can do it, and their minds don't blow up. Or vampires can do it, and their minds don't blow up.
That's true. Now, Johanna, you said selective telepathy. So, now is this the ability to turn it? You would turn it on or off, right? Like you would be able to select whose mind you wanted to read, when you wanted to read it, right?
Yeah, like, I mean, I watched True Blood, I read all the books, and so at the beginning, like, she hears everything, so mind reading doesn't seem that attractive that way. I want it to be, like, directive, like, oh, I want to read that person's mind. I'm going to do that now. I'm not going to listen to anybody else, just this person. I don't know what the fantasy physics are behind that, but that's what I want.
So I'm going to ask you, what do you think Cabby was thinking?
I knew you guys were going to bring up the cab.
Johanna has a great story about a cab driver that we'll wait till the end of the episode so that you can give us this cab driver story, and then using your ability of selective telepathy, you have to guess what he was thinking.
Okay.
So I'll give you the opportunity to think that through.
Oh my god.
All right, so the last part of the intro that I wanted to mention was that I wanted to get you guys to do for me is, if your best friend, girlfriend, or spouse could give you a superhero or heroine name based off of whatever they would think about you, whatever they know about you, what would it be? So since we'll go in reverse order, Taylor, we'll start with you.
All right, so I've actually received 2 nicknames, apparently, both stemming from college. The first one being the Hammer.
Your girlfriend would give you the hammer. Okay, we're not going to go into that. Move on.
Next one. Next one.
It's a kid's show, damn it.
It has not been a kid's show for a long time.
Ever since Taylor left, we went from PG to like a hard R. Ever since Taylor walked out on us. All right.
And,
what was the second name?
Second one happens to actually be Burner, because I managed to set myself on fire by accident during my first year of college. And all of it stems from playing with a lighter like an idiot. You know how there's the lighter trick where you actually swipe it across your leg, and you're able to keep the lighter on. Well, apparently I swiped too hard and didn't remove the lighter fast enough, and I saw a good portion of my leg go up in flames.
Like, we got our own Johnny Storm over here.
Like a little pyro. Wow. Awesome.
It's intense.
So I guess one of my favorite powers should have been the ability to control water, because I couldn't find any quick enough.
Exactly. Lorenzo, you're up. What will be your superhero name?
I'm pretty spontaneous, so Spontano would be good.
Spontano. Okay.
And then, I think Orgasmo.
I knew you were going to say it. I knew it. As soon as you said Spontano, Are you what was he in the movie? A Mormon? Are you a Mormon also?
Spontano, was
No,
he a Mormon?
Orgasmo.
Oh, Orgasmo.
Orgasmo was a Mormon.
I never saw that movie.
You never saw the movie? It was funny.
No.
Well, I mean, with your ability to control time, and then being Orgasmo, that would be an amazing. Like that'd be a double. That'd be great. Like you could stop it at that very moment, and it would last. You could stop time or slow time down at that very moment, and it would last forever. You'd be a god.
Yeah, and then if I could control minds, I wouldn't even have to do anything.
Yeah, exactly. She'd just think that you did it.
Right. And your sidekick from the movie was Chota Boy. So, you need to.
No,
see
I don't
that.
want to be him. I don't want to be that guy because I don't even know who that guy is. That's just like a totally unrelated, different superhero.
Johanna, you are up.
Okay, so I was actually telling Joe about this before we started recording. My husband has like a, how the Homeland Security has the levels, the terror threat levels.
Yep.
Well, Sean has that for hunger. So when I'm hungry specifically, so there's mildly perturbed and really annoyed, and then it goes up to this one level called Sailor Fuck You. So that's sort of my nickname, because when I get really hungry, I turn into Sailor Fuck You. It's really like terrible. It's like I become this whirlwind of terror and cursing, and so I don't know how positive that is. Like Taylor, I also had a few nicknames in college, but they're kind of filthy, so I'll just pass.
So how long do we
Don't
have to...
L me, Orgasmo.
So
Ain't nothing wrong with a little bump and grind, baby.
There's nothing wrong with my filthy nicknames, Lorenzo.
So Johanna, how long do we have to go before... How long will you have to go without eating before we get to Sailor Fuck You?
Gosh.
5 hours. Tops.
No, it's definitely not 5 hours. It's definitely less than 5 hours.
Yeah, that's
less
what I'm
than
saying.
5
Tops,
hours,
5
wow.
hours.
If we go to top 5, I don't want to know what that one is.
No, let me see. Like, if I wake up in the morning and
Johan, I have a name for you.
oh God, what?
DEF CON.
Because...
Because he's always like going up on DEF CON levels. You know, DEF CON is like DEF CON
Yes, I know
1,
what
DEF
DEF
CON
CON
2,
is. Yeah.
DEF CON 3. Yeah, I don't. Which way does it go, Joe? DEF CON 1 is like nuclear.
Yeah, the DEF CON 1 is the last DEF CON.
Right. So yeah, she'd be DEF CON, and then it was just a matter of like getting up to DEF CON 1.
Or what do we do now instead of DEF CONs? We do we're on Orange Alert.
Orange.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, that's what Johanna was mentioning, the threat levels.
The threat level.
I would have to say 2 hours tops, honestly. For...
Before Sailor Fuck You, wow.
Yeah, if
Yeah.
not less. Yeah, sometimes it's been an hour. Especially in the morning, if it's breakfast time. Oh, watch out! Breakfast time can be hell time. It's like
because
fire.
it's been a lot of time since you last ate. It's been over 2 hours since you last ate when you get to breakfast.
Yeah.
Your husband must keep snacks at very close range at all times.
Oh, he's very much like, you haven't eaten, here's a granola bar. It's like there's like a trail of snacks wherever I am in different pockets of things so that I don't...
Does he have like a snack gun? Like where,
That's what I mean, like, it has
a
to be-
t-shirt gun or a potato launcher where he just shoots granola bars into your mouth when you're coming at him?
I don't come at him.
It's awesome. Johanna's like a reverse gremlin.
I
Like you have to actually feed her, or else she's gonna turn.
think I would really like a snack gun, you guys. Like, that's a really good idea.
Joe, last but not least.
All right, so I would go with my name as The Solution. That's me. Because I fix things. I fix problems. That's what I do.
What are your thoughts on the situation? Is he like your arch nemesis?
That's how it spawned. My wife and I were watching. Well, she was watching. What's the name of that stupid show?
Jersey Shore?
Jersey Shore. We were
Nice
watching
try.
it, and the situation was on. I said, man, forget that dude. I'm the solution. And that's how it started.
So who would be the problem?
The problem is everything that they come to me with that I fix.
Say, okay.
That's what
That
I
works.
do.
It's short. It's sweet. It's short and to the point. That works.
To the point, man. That's what I do. I fix things. And with my mimic power, I'll be able to fix everything. Because I'll take all your powers.
Yeah, but if nobody with powers is around you, you're pretty much just a regular guy.
No. I keep them. I'm Peter Petrelli that way. I gotta keep explaining it. Once I got it. That's it. I use it. I go through Rolodex in my mind and see what power I want to use.
There's got to be some kind of
But
limitation.
the problem is that if everybody around you has lame powers, then that's all you can get is lame powers. Like if you're living in the
Lorenzo,
world
I know you.
of what's that guy's name?
I'm gonna come take your mind reading power. And I got that. Then I'm gonna make you do what I want you to do.
No. I don't care about what people are thinking. I don't care about what people are thinking. I'm not interested in reading minds. I'm interested in controlling them.
No, I'm gonna take
tell
your
you what
mind
to
control
think.
power. It'll be mine.
You
I
know,
don't care what.
you know
I'll tell you what.
what
You'll do what I say.
yeah, exactly, Malik. And then okay, so another nickname I think would be like I've been compared to the Incredible Hulk because like I can be very mild mannered, but then if I get upset, you don't want to make me angry.
You don't want to see me when I'm angry. I think I'm gonna have to ask Marcelo about that.
Ask who about that?
Oh no, you
We'll have
can't
to ask
ask Marcelo about
We'll have
that.
to ask
No.
Marcelo about that at some point in time.
No.
Is he the one that calls you the Hulk?
Maybe off air, maybe.
No, of course off air. I wouldn't have.
No,
Let's have
bring him on now,
Marcelo on
Lorenzo.
to
Bring him on. Wake him
an
up.
R-rated show.
Of course, I'm not going to bring Marcelo on air. Oh man! All right, great guys. So we're going to move on to the first topic of our superheroes discussion. Thanks for all of your answers in the intro section. So the first topic is social group superhero team roles. So as you guys know, we are all members of our own social groups outside of the Agents of Helm or work or whatever. We are members of a family, we're friends, we're fraternities, sororities, book clubs, maybe you're in a gang, you're in the mathletes, whatever, okay? And within those groups, every member of your group has a role based on their quote-unquote special ability. Some roles are the fearless leader, the solution, the prankster, the planner, Mr. and Mrs. Late Start, or the driver. So in 5 minutes or less, talk about the social group that you're in. I want you to give your social group a name tag that defines the group as a whole and would look good on a comic book cover. Tell me about your role in the group. How did you get the role? And is it something that you ever thought that you would be taking on in your group? So we're going to start with Johanna.
All right, should I answer all of these in
Yeah, you can
paragraphs?
just go down. No, you can go down the list if you want.
Sure.
There's no way to. You don't have to do them in order or anything like that.
Okay.
Whichever way you feel comfortable.
Sure. So my social group, surprise, surprise, is my book club, which I've talked about on the show a lot. So basically, right now, because we lost a couple members, it's 4 ladies eating food and talking about books. So we pick a book at the beginning of a month, and we set the date, and then we go wherever. So we try to go to different restaurants, and we're all uptown, so that's really helpful.
Mm-hmm.
So the name I would give my social group is the Circle of Lady Nerds, because we are kind of nerdy. I went to brunch with one of the ladies, and they brought us eggs in egg cups. So we started talking about how to use the egg cups based on the historical fiction that we've read. So that's pretty nerdy. My designated role within the group is the enforcer. I'm the one who makes sure that people pick books if they're the ones picking the book for the month and we haven't heard from them in 3 or 4 days. I email or text and I'm like, hey, what the fuck is going on? You gotta pick a book. If you don't pick a book, there's this one book that I always threaten them with. It's called 1Q84 by Haruki Murakami, and it's 1,000 pages long. And what I say is, if you don't pick a book, I'm going to pick, and it's going to be 1Q84.
Now here's a question. Do you actually want to read 1Q84?
I'm a huge this is a longer discussion. I'm a huge fan of Murakami. I hear it's not his best, but it's kind of like Mount Kilimanjaro, It's there, and I got to climb it. So
you lost me at 1,000.
Yeah, it's 1,000 pages
You
long.
just lost me.
I just wouldn't want you, I wouldn't want you to, punish yourself. So
basically, like, the threat of 1Q84 is enough for people to be like, okay. And then if they haven't picked a date after that, I email them again like a week later. I'm like, hey, where the fuck's the date? Like, come on, let's get it together. I'm going to pick a date if you don't pick a date. Now, I talked to the ladies about this because I was talking about our show with the ladies over dinner today, and they said they appreciate this brutish way of making sure that they pick books and pick restaurants and stuff. So that's good. I didn't get this role. I took it upon myself because I like my book club and I like reading, and I wanted it to keep going, so I just enforce and I threaten. Gently and kindly, but I threaten. So, is it a role that I've ever imagined for myself? So in college, I was a stage manager, and that's pretty much what enforcing is. Like, costume designer, where the fuck are the costumes? Like, they needed to have been here 2 days ago. Actor, you're like 15 minutes late. What the hell? So this is just basically that. Has my role evolved over time? No, people still aren't picking books on time. So I'm like 3 days later, like, where the fuck is the book? Oh, I also take it upon, if they cannot pick a book, I pick a book for them, which is a threat too. Like, yeah. Sorry, go on.
So you're definitely the enforcer. You kind of sound like the dictator.
I'm not the.
I kind of want to see what and you're Latin. You're Latin. So I think I think your name should be the dictator, or
El
in
Jefe.
Spanish.
El
In
Jefe.
Spanish, yes, El Jefe, or Despota, or something like that. I think we should go. I think we should go down that route and see how they accept it. See how the lady nerds accept your title of Castro or something.
Yeah, we're gonna call it Escobar.
Exactly.
Escobar.
Exactly. The next time she's gonna show up to the book club in a military costume, military outfit, and just sit around. It's like, you have your book? 10 lashes.
And you know what? I'm sure the ladies would just be like, is this some sort of costume having to do with the last book? Because I'm confused. And maybe a Che Guevara would rise.
Yeah, there you go.
But they picked out superhero names for themselves too while we were at dinner.
Okay.
Yeah. So
I'd like to hear them.
Okay, so one of the members, hi Carol, I hope she's listening, is very much like, well, I like the book because, or, she always finds something good in the book. So she called herself the placater. Then there's one member who doesn't always show up regularly because of various reasons, so we called her the wild card. And
I think we'd call her the Taylor. La Desir.
And then we called Christina the organizer, because she's the one who kind of came up with it, and she's kind of the one who like gives a lot of restaurant suggestions if we really can't think of something, and she's a lot more directive. Like, if we're all like, let's go to this bar or whatever, and we can't really decide, she'll be like, okay, let's go there. So yeah,
Okay.
we really got into it, let me tell you.
Well, good. I'm glad that it sparked a good conversation.
Yeah.
Well,
Joe, you're up.
Well, Malik, before I go, I'm going to tell you, who was the first one you mentioned, Johanna?
Carol.
Yeah. That's Malik.
The
Find something
placater.
good in every movie.
Damn
Find something good
damn
in
right.
every movie. Silver lining. Silver linings. That's Malik.
I was actually thinking that was myself too. I was
Yeah.
actually like, yeah, that would be me.
Malik. You audience out there, it's Malik. Silver linings. Always find something good about the movie somewhere. All right. All right, I'm next, Malik. All right, cool.
Yep, you're up.
All right, so I picked my family because I'm with them the most. And so my family has called me. In the past I've been called the vacation Nazi because I like to be everywhere on time. I want to get the full amount out of my day. I'm the tech guru because every time someone wants to get a computer or needs something fixed or get a new TV or whatever, a tablet, they call me. But most of all, what I am to my family is nothing but a movie dealer. That's what I am. I'm the movie dealer. They come to me, hey, what you got? You got some movies? You got something new? You got what you got? Give it to me. Give it to me. I'm like, damn, Cole, calm down. Man, I'm working on it. That's what happens, man. So that's what they are. I call them the movie marauders. But they're always after me. They're like the Reapers and Firefly. Coming after trying to get some movies. All legal, of course. Just to clear that up.
Of course.
Anyway.
Goes
Well,
without
leave-
saying.
Yeah, of course. And so I gave you my roles in the group. I would call them the movie marauders, and my designated role is the movie supplier / tech. And how did I get this role? Is it one I ever imagined for myself? I got this role by being too nice. Hey man, you want to see this? You should check it out. And then what have you? Then the cover of the comic book would look like this: my family with a bunch of USB sticks sticking, with in their hands, trying to give it to me. That's what it would look like. Yeah, I actually like the role. I like sharing movies and giving and letting them see the joy they get from watching a movie they haven't seen and letting them tell me about it. So I can't complain. I love it. I love hooking them up, and that's it, man. That's what I do. That's what I do for them. And it's been like this for what? I don't know, at least 10 years now.
Wow.
So it's evolved. We've gone from like making DVDs to putting files on DVDs. Now we're at the USB and FTP levels. So. Which for you guys are non-tech people, file transfer protocol, you just transfer it through the internet. But anyway, Malik, that's what I am.
Okay. Taylor, what's up?
So, as no surprise, I come off as the wild card, as you guys have already noted, but also Mr. Mischief. Maybe it's my usually monotone voice or the fact that I sound very close to Kermit the Frog, but people find me to be very unsuspecting at times. So I like to play a couple of pranks whenever I can. And so amongst my group of friends, which is like a hodgepodge of, socialites and tinkers, and I know they hate the term, but hipsters, I like to just see everybody together and just roll in like an F5 tornado, stir shit up in a good way, and just leave everybody in shock and awe like Bill Paxton at the end of it. So that way they're like, not going back in there again, man. Not doing it.
So how long have you? So this group, this is like a hodgepodge group of people. Like how did they all come together? You guys all went to school together or whatever?
Yeah, these are all friends since college, so well over 6-7 years now. Most of these people, and yeah, it's always been like that since the first year I met them.
Okay. All right. And how long have you been the shit starter, the troublemaker? How long have you been this?
I'd probably say since day one.
Okay, cool.
Doing things like lighting yourself on fire by accident kind of ends up solidifying that role in the group.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, pretty much. Lorenzo, last but not least.
All right, all right. Let's see. So, you know the Texas Ranger when he was in what the hell is the name of that movie? Come on, Joe. What's the name of the movie that the
Texas
Texas
Ranger.
Ranger was in?
Are you talking about Chuck Norris?
Yeah. So Chuck Norris was the lone wolf in The Expendables.
Well, okay.
Go on.
In The Expendables 2. I kind of roll as the lone wolf. Hold on one second.
So he has to.
Sorry about that. You can hear me now?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Can you hear me now? Okay, so then, yeah, so I've always kind of rolled as the lone wolf, you know, like kind of a loner, doing my own thing, coming in and out of situations, always like wanting to just be able to bail whenever I wanted to, whenever things got boring. I definitely liven things up when I am in the vicinity. I think in high school, college, probably, I would have been known influence. So, you know that kid that maybe your parents don't want you hanging out with. That
Yeah, I know.
might have been me a little bit.
Smoking cigarettes out now.
And I don't know. It didn't always. It didn't always be like that. It wasn't always like that, but yeah, I do seem to remember that. So I guess, and when I was thinking about social groups, I noticed that like I tend to hang out either in pairs, or like I said, by myself, but either in pairs or trios or like at a party. So as far as pairs go, I think I have like a classic pair now, which is just me and my kid, and I kind of think of us as lone wolf and cub. Joe, you know that reference.
Yep.
So yeah, on the path of what's it called, Mufundo, the path to hell. the lone wolf, he's an assassin who is bent on revenge, and so him and his son have to go on this whole mission together. That's kind of similar to what our situation is. But since the lone wolf and cub is already taken, I kind of like the idea of the brown recluse and spider boy. Does that sound? What do y'all think of that? I was trying that out. The brown recluse is like it's like a southern spider that will like make your skin fall off if it bites you. And then spider boy. Or the misanthropes, because I think both of us, we're not that big on other people. We don't necessarily like people. So misanthropes. Yeah, so the bad influence. Also, but in a pair, like if we were to talk about like me and my kid and a lot of other, like when I hang out with I have like a friend and that's the friend, I would think that I would actually be the Mel Gibson to the other person's Danny Glover. So I think even like with my kid or with like my good friends, generally I'm Mel Gibson and they're Danny Glover. Like Joe, you would be Danny Glover.
Why can't I be Mel Gibson?
Because
am I getting too old for this shit?
No, yeah, that and I am Mel Gibson.
Okay.
You
So
can't have two
So
Mel Gibsons.
you hate Jews or what? That's what Mel Gibson.
well, you know what? He would be the person that would say something like that.
Exactly. You know what? You are Mel Gibson. You're so right.
Even if he doesn't believe it, he would be the person to say it, just to get the rise out.
Whatever. I love the Jewish people. So, and I think the Nazis were wrong, and I think Hitler's bad. So, if that disqualifies me as Mel Gibson, then I feel bad for Mel Gibson.
All right, so based off of everybody, thanks for everybody for pointing those out. So based off of all of your skills, and the names and your titles, I've broken down what I believe your special ability to be. So Johanna Your special ability amongst your social group is that you're capable of using the fear of punishment to control your minions and enforce compliance to your own wishes.
The Punisher.
Exactly.
That sounds about right.
Joe has the ability to magically concoct HD quality movies that are not available in stores. Sometimes still in the theaters.
Maybe.
So-
That's all a legend, Malik, a legend.
Of course, alleged. He can magically make them. So if Ian McKellen was Gandalf the Grey, Joe is Morales the Black. Taylor's special ability, I wasn't able to really break it down too far just to say that Taylor is Loki. That's exactly who Taylor is. Just when Taylor...
That's amazing. That's exactly what I was going for.
Just when you think you can trust them, nope.
Stabs you right in the back, just disappears, okay? And Lorenzo's special ability, the first one, your special ability is your ability to desert. So your ability of desertion would definitely be number one. And then I would definitely call you the bad seed, since you are the one that is the bad influence on everybody. And because you're a little bit crazy, I'm gonna call you Four Loco, because that's
A loco.
because we don't find you around too often anymore, and there's reasons for that. You've probably been banned from certain areas.
You know what? Now that he's brought up Mel Gibson and Lethal Weapon, you know what you are? You're not Mel Gibson, Lorenzo. You are Mr. Joshua, Gary Busey's character from Lethal
I
Weapon.
thought you were going to say Joe
Joshua.
Pesci. I'm not Joe Pesci.
Mr.
Is
Joshua.
that Joe Pesci?
No, Mr. Joshua is Gary Busey's
It's Gary
character.
Busey, that's right.
The first Lethal Weapon. That's you. He's a little off.
Which is basically every character Gary Busey plays.
You're pretty much Gary Busey.
Yeah, that's what Gary Busey is.
Hey, it's better Gary Busey from Lethal Weapon than Gary Busey from Point Break. So
I
Did you
tend to
guys?
notice that Jake seems to play the same types of characters too.
yeah, he does. He got that earnestly.
What were you gonna say, Johanna? I'm sorry.
I was just gonna say, I'm
I
not
like,
sure if you
I like
guys.
Gary Busey. I'm okay with Gary Busey. He's from Texas.
It makes it okay.
Go ahead, Johanna. I'm sorry.
It's okay. I don't know if you guys ever saw, like, he was in, like, this paranormal reality show, like 5 or 6 years back. And so they had him in with one of those, like, headsets on, like, with the night vision. And, like, he's walking around and he's being so creepy. And at one point he's like, "What's that? It sounds like a mechanical tiger." It's like so random. Like, first of all, why do you know what a mechanical tiger sounds like? And second of all, what are you hearing that sounds like such
Just
a specific
random-
thing?
Random Gary Busey isms.
Doesn't everybody know what a mechanical tiger sounds like?
I
That was like the norm.
certainly don't.
Well, one thing I definitely know, Lorenzo, is if you plan on deserting me, I'm definitely not going paintballing with you, because that clearly scares the hell out of me, because I'm not getting caught up in the middle of a death squad.
Oh no!
Fire
Desertion is Taylor. Taylor is desertion because I went paintballing with Taylor and Taylor disappeared.
Well, see, I had
So,
a fear
Taylor-
that at some point this was going to turn to surviving
I'm
the
like
game.
in and out. No. Yeah, me. I come in, I do the mission, and then I'm out. Maybe I don't say goodbye, but I get the mission done, and then I'm out.
Well,
Not
Taylor's
desertion. Just
Taylor's ability seems like he would actually, find a way to disappear and reappear on the other team.
exactly.
If I did that, though, against Gary Busey, it would turn to that movie with Gary Busey and Ice-T. Who knows what?
They don't go well. Oh man! All right. So topic number 2: what is your superpower? So, what's the one thing that you are the best at in either your family or your said social circle? What power do you possess? So, any example can be You're the best cooker in your family. You're the best at eating. You're the best at drinking. You play cards really good. You're chess. You're a great singer. You dance, or you tell great jokes. Whatever it is that you are known for in your group, in your social circle, what are you the best at? Joe.
None of those things that you listed there. I'm probably the best at talking the longest. I could talk longer than any of them. Talk up to them, look at me in the eye like, damn, dude, you need to shut up. I'm excellent at that. Keep moving the conversation, keep talking. And besides that, obviously the tech stuff, fixing their computers and bringing me their laptops and fix the hard drives. That's what I do. But what I'm best at is talking. Talk. That's what started this podcast.
That's what I'm about to say. That's why this podcast actually. That's true.
So that's what I'm the best at. Should we go? Are we gonna go down the line?
No.
Oh.
Yeah, we're gonna go down the line. So.
No, I'm talking about okay. No, I thought we were gonna go to the next question. Okay.
No. We'll let everybody go, and then I'll go to the next question. Lorenzo, what about you?
One thing.
Just one. I mean, you can say more than
one.
You can say more than one if you're cocky enough to say that you have more than one thing that you are the best at in the entire social circle.
So many things that it's just was really hard for me to even take this question seriously.
One that you're the most proud of.
No, I'm just kidding. So I'm like the idea man. I'm like the one that comes up with like when it seems like there's no solution.
That's when you come to me.
That's when I come up with the solution. And if the solution is reaching out to Joe, then so be it. Whatever it takes. Like whatever it takes. Like I'm the one that comes up with the ideas that other people just don't think of. That's always been like kind of my thing. And I'm not, I'm not being like, I think that's a pretty, you know what you guys should check out? Are you familiar, if you type in Meatloaf Gary Busey, you get Meatloaf and Gary Busey on Celebrity Apprentice. And it's the most funniest.
Yes,
Meatloaf almost kicks Gary Busey's ass.
I actually saw that episode live.
That is great.
And I don't even watch The Apprentice episode live. I don't even know why.
Yeah, I just saw it on YouTube.
It's hilarious.
It's so funny. Yeah, I think for whatever reason, I think I accidentally hit like the playlist button on YouTube for like a Gary Busey video, and so I got to see all these Gary Busey videos. Yeah, I was definitely.
Are you seeing the connection between you and Gary, or?
Well, we were talking about it before, and then that just reminded me of the Meatloaf thing, which was crazy because I always thought Meatloaf to be a pretty even-tempered guy, but in this video he just went nuts.
Gary Busey.
Busey, so I'm like.
It appears that Gary Busey, much like Lorenzo, can drive anyone insane.
Oh, that is a great point. I'm also the instigator. I am really good at making people upset. I don't know why.
Okay, so I'm gonna go.
I don't know why.
Yeah, you can stop right there.
We're gonna stop right there. That's your best. That's your best quality. That's your power. Taylor, you're up.
I think I'm more like the quick fix guy. I like hearing what someone's problem is, and if I feel like they're just, belaboring or they're procrastinating on stuff, I like giving them the quick fix for it. Like, my phone's broken, I don't know what to do with it. Not my phone, but my girlfriend's. I just get on Amazon, I order a replacement for it, and, I get it fixed like the next day. So I like the quick fix, and I like doing it quiet, steadily in and out. Still Team 6, boom.
So anybody that has a problem with anything, they say, go ahead, call Taylor. He'll figure out how to take care of it quickly.
I'm like that guy from Pulp Fiction, the Wolf.
The Wolf.
Awesome. And Johanna, you are last but not least. Save the best for last.
I have two. One of them is I am a master itinerary builder. I think it's because I'm a control freak, so I am the only one who creates itineraries for our vacations. I'm very precise and specific, not necessarily to the hour, because my husband and I have like very similar habits in terms of like we are getting up at 7 in the morning and we're gonna just do the whole day, and there's no like let's get up at 10. Well, the day's already wasted and you're in this wonderful place and you've wasted your life.
That's why I got called the vacation.
Exactly, and that's when the dictator powers come in.
Exactly. So I basically, like, my husband's like, honey, you plan the trip. So I book the hotels. I figure out what attractions there are. I kind of like bullet them out, and I also bullet out how many, like if we do a road trip, like how many hours of driving it is every day and how many miles for each leg. And so I just really like traveling, and I like to make the most of stuff. And I think that kind of translates into other things in terms of organizing other things. And then the second one is cooking. Oh, also creating menu lists. So for Christmas Eve, I'm the one who like organizes what's going to be prepared, how it has to be prepared, what ingredients need to go into it. And when I didn't have a baby, I would do stuff like the wine pairings and the cheese platters and pick everything out, which goes with my second one, which is cooking. Like, I'm just a bomb cook. I don't really like get as much of a chance to make like elaborate things. I used to make all sorts of things. I would make my own summer rolls. I'd make my own curries, and I told my husband, or rather, I posited to my husband that he probably married me because I'm a good cook, and he did not contradict me. He said yes.
Well, so now we're gonna stick with you, Johanna, for the next question. And the next question is that if you could be great at one thing that you are currently horrible at, what would it be?
Yeah. Learning languages. It's not that I'm necessarily bad at it. It's just that I'm lazy, and I just don't like. I'm lazy. Like, I don't have the patience to like sit and learn all the tenses. Like, I took Russian for a year, and I know kind of how to speak it, but there's like 50 billion tenses, and I'm like, fuck this. I'm not gonna learn each ending for each fucking thing. So I would want to learn languages really fast. And if I did that, I would want to apply for a job with like the CIA or like the UN or any sort of place where I can get out of here and have an awesome job and still be a youth. Mm-hmm.
Have you seen that movie, The Interpreter?
No, I haven't.
Yeah, who's Joe? Do you remember who's in that, or anybody you guys?
I remember it came out. I don't remember anything about it.
A UN interpreter seems like a really cool job.
Oh.
Because you're in on all those conversations, but you don't actually have to make the decisions. You just tell people what other people said, and that's cool.
And if your language is in high demand, you can go to like anywhere. And if you know several languages, it's like you're the Superman of international relations. So.
See, I could be a bad guy with that stuff too. If you know if you know the languages and somebody else doesn't know and they're like, what did he say? Like, oh, he said you're a punk, son. Like he said he's gonna knock you out. He said he's gonna knock you out. I said I don't know. Just
polyglot instigator. Polyglot instigator.
Absolutely. I'd start wars in the UN. I'd start fights in the UN with all these nations. Like, he said your wife ugly, man. He said your wife ugly. He said your kids stink. Like I would be laying it down. That would be awesome.
I'm starting to think that it's a good thing that we don't have all or any of these powers, because there's a lot of evil doing we could do.
I'm definitely all on board as a supervillain. I have no intentions of being a hero in any way, shape, or form. I would use my powers for evil, and I completely admit it. Who was next? Joe, go ahead. Worst, one thing that you're really, really bad at that you would love to be great at.
I don't know, probably singing. because I can't sing. I can't carry a tune to save my life. I can't. I sing in the car. My wife and daughter are like, could you please stop? Could you, it's embarrassing, but I don't care. That's why I'll do karaoke now. Now I'm just at the age where I just don't care. So I'll do it anyway. But yeah, better singer.
So if you could be a singer, what would you do? Would you be the Joe that sits in front of us doing a podcast right now? Would you be like the next Julio Iglesias? Where would you? What would you see yourself do? What would you see yourself doing if you could sing?
If I could sing, I don't know if I'd be singing like love songs or anything. I think maybe once in a while, throw a love song out there, but mostly it's gonna be mostly like party music, something to dance to.
So you'd be
Maybe
Pitbull.
something like that.
Pitbull.
There you go.
Dale.
Dale.
Well, Pitbull can't really sing, so you could actually be Pitbull.
I'll be-
Yeah, you could be
I'll rap.
Pitbull right now.
You guys, you just made my dreams come true.
You just said Dolly. That's all you need. That's all you really need.
Oh, and
Mr. Worldwide. I'll be Mr. Worldwide.
names of cities. So like
Yeah.
Panama City.
No, I gotta be a little bit
Dale.
better than Pitbull. I gotta be like, I don't know. I'm not gonna say Ricky Martin. No. I gotta be like a Mark Anthony kind of. But
Joe,
I'll
you
sing in
realize
English.
that you already said Ricky Martin?
Well, I was thinking about it because my wife is in love with Ricky Martin. That's why I was thinking about it.
But I think it is significant that he's the first one that you put into your head, and then you got to
You're like-
filter him
you're like-
out. I think the truth is that you would be Ricky Martin.
I'm gonna shake my bonbon. That's what I'm gonna do.
Joe, I got it. We'll auto-tune you.
You auto tune me?
On Agents of Helm.
Yes. Yes. That's what I need, auto tune, because then I don't need any talent. That's right. I forgot all about the auto tune. I was thinking like I wanted talent, but why? Fake it till you make it.
T-Pain does it.
Oh yeah, they all do it, right?
Kanye West did it on one of his albums. So.
A whole album he did.
Yeah.
Taylor, you're up.
I'm
What are you?
kind of all about this auto-tuning thing right now. But I'm thinking I would really like to be a lot better at cards because I absolutely suck at them. I love playing card games, but I'm not the guy you want on your spades team. And there's so
That's
many
not
useful.
something you could learn.
It's definitely something I can learn, but it's gonna take me a while. It's a very, very steep learning curve from where I'm at right now.
So what do you play? Like Go Fish or something? I mean, what do you
Uno?
play?
I'm even better than Uno.
I keep forgetting to say Uno. Damn it!
It's very ugly. Even against a 10-year-old, it gets ugly.
So Taylor plays a bunch of card games by himself.
Solitaire.
They give Taylor his own deck.
I mean, honestly, I'd love to be able to do something like Casino Royale style, or even just go online and play some online poker, make a ton of money, and just retreat to like a far-off island.
So if you were a great card player, you'd play poker, and you would be like one of these big-time poker stars.
Oh, boy billionaire all the way.
Nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that. I'd try. I would love to try that my damn self. It's not happening. I don't have the patience for it. There's those people sit there for like hours and hours and hours just playing cards. Not for me. Can't do that. Got to get up and stretch my legs or something. They don't seem to do anything but that. That's crazy. Lorenzo, what about you? Well, since you're so good at a whole bunch of things, I figured this is the most difficult thing for you to come up with. Since you're so amazing at like everything that you do.
It's probably decision making.
But he's the man with the plan. He comes up with the plan. So clearly, that's not it. I would love to hear what yours is, Lorenzo.
It's hard to choose with all this talent.
Are you still auto-tuning?
We should have Taylor do the theme song. He should do the theme song. Just
Not if that is an example of his auto-tuning skills. I think if that's an example of his auto-tuning skills, that needs to be his thing that he needs to get good at.
That's actually me just talking into the fan next to me.
That's pretty good.
I think you should just keep randomly singing things throughout the show, Taylor. Just randomly. Don't tell us.
Yeah, and then after the show, we can record you doing a whole bunch of them, and then we can just, add them to the shows like a spice, like adobo.
Like little Taylor drops. Drop a couple Taylor bombs all over the podcast. That works.
T-bombs. You mean T-bombs.
Dropping it all over the tracks.
No, you sound like the thing from South Park.
Sounds like Cowley. It's the Cowley.
Yes.
Or the Christmas Pooh. One of them. I can't.
Howdy ho!
Taylor dropped.
Oh, that him sounding like the Pooh puts an entirely new spin on the phrase T-bomb.
That's exactly. I got a T-bomb for you. Whatever. See, I can't even. I messed that up.
Don't forget to bring a towel.
Lorenzo, I'm sorry we took your time. What is your ability that you wish you had?
To do a good podcast. to be on a good podcast. That'd be my ability. No, but seriously, there's a podcast that I think I've mentioned before called Radio Lab.
Oh my God.
Is way better than our podcast. And they recently did like a short story called 9-Volt Nirvana. And in that, they talk about this. You guys know what DARPA is?
Yes.
So it's like the Defense Advanced Research. It's what the military uses to be all badass and stuff. And they were studying something called transcranial direct current stimulation, or TDCS. And so, during the podcast, they talked about a few examples. One of their reporters went out and did like a sniper training thing at DARPA, and then she sucked at it. And then they hooked up this electrode shock thing to her head, and they gave her like very localized like little current of electricity. And after that, she did the sniper test again, and she was like 20 out of 20, like perfect. And then she gets in her car, and she usually hates driving, and she hadn't driven in a while because she had been living in London, and so she's driving, and everything just fell into place. You know how when you're driving and you're going kind of fast, and you're like sliding through the traffic, and like where all the places are where you can pass and move through the cars. Do you guys ever experience that when you're driving? Anyway, that's what she experienced at that point. And basically what it seemed to boil down to was that it, using this TDCS, that it allowed people to be in the flow. You guys know what the flow is?
Is it like the zone?
It's kind of like the zone. It's basically where you're not really thinking about anything except what you're doing, and even that you're not really thinking about it, you're just kind of doing it. And so that would be the thing I would want to be really good at. And the upside of it,
just kind of zoning out and being able to focus completely on whatever you're doing.
Yeah, see, it's not zoning out. It's kind of the opposite of zoning out. It's like zoning in.
He's like Bruce Leroy in The Last Dragon when he reached the final level and he gets the glow.
That is the flow, right? It's like the glow. It's the flow. It's just the idea of being in the moment, and that's kind of what it was about with Captain Picard too. When he stopped time, he was just like in the moment. And so the great news though is that whole TDCS thing, you can totally do that at home. Like it's totally do-it-yourselfable. And if you go on YouTube and you look it up, there's like tons of how-to videos, so you can create your own TDCS like kit.
Top 2.
Apparently, you can go to Radiolab and get all the equipment you need for like $20. So I'm gonna go to Radiolab. I'm gonna go to Radio Shack. Excuse me. I'm gonna go to Radio Shack and build myself a TDCS, and then I'm gonna be awesome at everything.
Well, just don't let Taylor near all your stuff because he'll light you on fire.
Yes.
No, he'll light himself on fire.
I'll light the track on fire.
Well, I really do like I like that ability. I like that ability, Lorenzo. All right, so our next topic is going to be a superpower agent debate. So this is going to be a one-on-one battle, debate battle between two agents, and the debate will be about this. We've all debated in the past about why one hero is better than another, or who would win in a fight between person A and person B. Tonight, we will be pitting agent versus agent in a verbal debate. I will give each of you one superpower. The question is, how would you use this ability to defeat your fellow agent? So for this, I'm going to randomly select the battle, who's going to be versus who, but I'll give you guys have all been given your individual powers. Taylor will be given the power of superhuman speed. Joe will be given the power of superhuman strength. Lorenzo will be using the power of teleportation, and Johanna will be using the power of telekinesis. So my first round one debate battle, how would you defeat your opponent? Joe will be going up against Taylor. It's going to flip a coin, call it in the air. Heads or tails, Joe?
Heads.
It is tails. Taylor, you select. Do you go first, or does Joe go first?
Joe, feel free to meet your demise early. You may go first.
Joe goes first. Joe.
Bunny rabbit? Bunny rabbit. 8 Mile? You know what this is? Alright. Alright, so with my super strength, since Taylor is all he can do is run, pretty much. Like he ran away from this podcast, but that's another day for another story. That's a story for another day. Okay, so with my superhuman strength, basically, he's running. I know you could probably run on water and stuff, but if I just break the ground around me, break the ground that he's running on, he's probably gonna trip and fall and light himself on fire or something due to the friction. So, or I'll just clap my hands together, send some kind of sonic boom his way. Well, first off, Malik, I forgot to ask you. It says I have superhuman strength. How strong, superhuman strength is stronger than, like humans, right? So, how far is this Hulk strength? Superman strength? Or are we talking like Wolverine strength? How high?
Really, the character Wolverine's not really superhuman strength. I think if we're going to say superhuman strength, we got to go at the very least, at least as strong as, say, like
Luke Cage?
Yeah, like a Luke Cage, Captain America, at the very least Captain America. But yeah, about Luke Cage, I don't want you to be too strong. Because then, I think that would be weighing tipping the scales in your favor. So, say Luke Cage strength.
Man, you don't even like Luke Cage. You give me Luke Cage strength. All right. Anyway, and Taylor likes Luke Cage, but anyway, so with my Luke Cage strength, well, since I used to be an ex-drug dealer, I'm gonna give you some drugs first, Taylor. And then I'm gonna it's gonna make you trippy before you start running. You won't know which direction you're running in, and then I'll probably trip you with a tree or something like that, or a car or something. Throw it in your way. Maybe you trip and fall, and then I'll grab you and smash you around. With my Luke Cage strength, it ain't that strong. But I think that's what I'll do. I'll give you some drugs first, since I was a drug dealer.
Oh, great. Nice. just for the kids. just for the kids on this podcast.
They're all coked up. Well, it depends on what you give them. You might actually make them faster.
Yeah,
I'm gonna give him some
Tussle on a
downers.
speedball in her.
Give him some downers. Then I'm gonna trip him and break the ground around me. Then I'm gonna trip him.
So Taylor, how would you defeat Joe with his super string?
Joe, since you've been downgraded from like the Hulk to the local bouncer at a club, I don't think this would be difficult for me.
You're right. That's pretty much what happened.
Oh, how fast is Taylor then?
Yeah, what's my limit here, Malik? Am I like as fast as the Flash, Superman, Quicksilver?
Let's go Quicksilver. I think that the Flash would be too much, and Superman can't have all that speed. So let's go Quicksilver. Meaning it's innate, it's built into you, but you're not like the fastest thing ever.
All right, so I mean that's more than enough for me to stop time if I'm as fast as Quicksilver. So obviously I'm gonna go ahead and go to the local kitchen just like Quicksilver would. Get some cutlery, couple of plates, some pots, pans, set them in motion right at Joe. He's obviously not gonna be able to block too many of them because he's not that strong. Then after that, I'll probably tie your shoelaces together so that when you actually do try to move, you fall flat on your face. And what else can we do here? I'm going to sit down and have a delicious bowl of nachos and then call in for some pizza delivery, make myself a little something else to eat on the side, and get a movie popped up on Netflix because I'll have just enough time left to do all that.
I don't know how you're gonna do that. You're gonna be high.
Well, that's exactly
you're
what
gonna
I'm
be
going to do
low.
that because I'll have the munchies after all that work.
You're gonna be low
Of course, yes, that would work up a big appetite.
And that's why I stopped at the kitchen in the first place.
because you had the munchies.
Well, I will have to say, after hearing that very very humorous debate, I would have to say that although I really wanted to give it to you, Joe, when you said Taylor ran away from the podcast, I really wanted to give it to you. I was ready to give it to you right then and there. But Taylor actually crafted a really really good comeback. And he did. So I'm gonna have to.
Yeah, but you downgraded me. You downgraded me. I thought I was the Hulk, and you made me Luke Cage. But
well, sadly, just like you think I have a problem with Luke Cage? Well, then you're out.
yeah. I was doomed from the beginning.
Just like Luke,
You
you're
have
out.
doomsday strength. Let's go.
Doesn't pay to sell drugs.
We go to the next round. All right, Johanna, the ability of telekinesis, and Lorenzo, the ability of teleportation. Lorenzo, let's start with you. Head to tails.
Heads.
And it is heads. Lorenzo, your choice. Will you go first or second?
I will go second.
All right.
And for the
Johanna.
record, Rabbit went first.
That's right. No, did he? I thought he went
He
second.
went first in the final battle. He didn't go first in the other ones.
That's right, he did. All right. Well, Johanna, telekinesis. How would you defeat Lorenzo and his teleportation skills?
Okay. So the thing is to act before he can teleport, which I would lock all the doors. And I would restrain. Well, actually, restrain immediately is probably the most important thing. So restrain immediately with knives, and then break the bones, and take some cement blocks and. So really, it's a matter of lightning quick reflexes, which I'm pretty sure I have because I've been doing this telekinesis thing for a while.
Okay, so you'd pretty much just be able to control him before he's able to move.
I mean, that's the whole, I think that's the whole, the key, the linchpin in all this, is just that you gotta catch him before he can teleport. And then after that, it's just, Tom and Jerry antics.
And he's just trying to teleport all over a room, and you're just catching him wherever he lands.
Exactly.
And stabbing him with telekinetic knives or whatever.
and then break the bones and then use the cement blocks to pound his head in.
You got all of this stuff in the room?
Yes.
She'd bring it in the room, I guess. Or she could create
if I'm
psionic blades or something like that.
I've come in and I am ready for battle, and I have my assemblage, accoutrements.
And you're going for the kill. You're not even just trying to beat him up. Like, you're hitting him with bricks and you're stabbing him with knives. Like, Lorenzo, you're in for a damn tough battle here.
I'm going for pulverization.
She's clearly trying to kill you. I think Taylor was just looking to beat Joe. I think Taylor was looking to beat Joe and get to the next round. I don't think Johanna wants you to ever fight again. Like, that's it. You're done. Well, Lorenzo, what would be your method of defeating Johanna?
Okay, so it would depend a little bit on why we're fighting, but as soon as I got any inclination that there's going to be trouble, I would just leave. Right, I would just be out. Right, I'm sorry, but your telekinesis cannot stop me from leaving because you can control the way things move, but if the thing disappears, then you can't control it anymore, and I would just be gone. So, and this would happen before anything, because like I said, I know that I have the ability to piss people off, and I can kind of see it coming. And so I would get my last word in, and then out. Like, by the time it even registered what I said, I would be gone. And so then I wouldn't mess with you, like, for a good 2-3 years. I would just stay away from you. But one day you're gonna be out having dinner because I know where you like to eat, and I know what neighborhood you're in. And one night you're gonna be out having dinner, and then you're gonna hear this huge crash, right? You're gonna hear like this huge crash behind you, and you're gonna turn around, and you're gonna see like some waiters like all knocked over and wondering what happened to their stuff. And then you're gonna turn back around, and it's not gonna seem like anything happened. But in that time that you were looking the other way, I was dropping like almonds and everything that you're allergic to. I was dropping it on your food. I would just sprinkle. What I would have it all ground up, and then I would just put it on your food like pepper. And so then you would have some, and then you would realize, oh my God, I'm having an allergic reaction. So then you would go grab your EpiPen, and you would inject yourself with your EpiPen, which I filled with crawfish or whatever the hell else you're allergic to.
I'm not allergic to crawfish. That's one thing I'm not allergic to, Lorenzo.
And and so then you would inject yourself with more stuff that you're allergic to, and then you would just take yourself out, and I would be back gone. I would already be left. I would have I might leave you know what I would do is I would leave a camera. I would leave a camera watching you, and then I would go back to my house and watch what happens on video. And you'd be done. And then if you managed to survive and you ended up in the hospital, well then I would just go to the hospital, and again while you're asleep, I would replace your IV with more stuff I would just fill it with beer, Johanna. I would fill your IV with beer, and then you would be dead. And that would be it. Or, whatever. That would be the point. I would just take care of you that way. Because it's teleportation, man.
How did you get the nuts in my food?
I had 2 years to figure it out, Johanna.
Yeah, but you told me right now.
I told you I would ground it up. I would ground it up and make like a pepper out of it and just pepper your food with all the things that you're allergic to.
You realize that I know what ground nuts look like, right? Like if I'm having spaghetti or something and I see some brown shit on it, I know that that's not pepper.
But I think it's going to make it so fine that you can't even tell.
But it's still brown.
It's like no, not necessarily. Like it's like in Oz when they in that show Oz on HBO, they would like poison people. They would like ground up glass, and then they would put the glass in their food. And they, over like the course of years, the person would gradually, their stomach would be so messed up that they would die from all this internal bleeding, and they wouldn't even know. It would be like that.
Walnuts are not glass, though.
I know,
Look, I
but
have
yet
nut
you're
foo,
allergic to them.
Okay, I have nut foo.
I think
If it's
the
on top of
point
my food.
the point is that
Nut food.
there is so many
Nut
things
foo.
that you're allergic to that I could just grab like 4 random things and they would probably kill you.
You know what, Lorenzo? You are a supervillain.
Oh, yeah.
I like your thinking. I mean, like literally, you would hold a grudge. First off, you'd hold a grudge for 2.5 years. Okay, you create the situation by pissing her off and instigating the situation, and then you would leave before she got a chance to respond, and then you would wait 2 years and plan your attack. I mean, that is some maniacal shit. I mean, that is
Malik,
amazing.
telekinesis is a very dangerous power.
It is. That's why I was glad. That's why I wanted to put you guys against each other, because if she got a hold of you,
Yeah, no, she's not gonna get a hold of me. Not gonna happen.
See, but this isn't taking into account that I'm a Latin woman, and Latin women hold grudges like you wouldn't be able to believe.
Right, but you don't know where I am.
So it doesn't matter. I would always sleep with one eye open, waiting.
You would be awake. It would happen right in front of your face.
I know, and I'd be waiting for it.
I don't know, Johanna.
I would.
I'm gonna have to give this one to me.
I think this would be a battle for the ages. I think this would be a battle for the ages. I completely believe. I believe that at the end of the day, Johanna, you might slip up at one moment or at one time, and Lorenzo's right. You're allergic to way too many things. Like seriously, like you'd have to like never sleep at all. Okay, instead of like
Now you can even it up, Malik. You make Lorenzo a cab driver.
This is fucked up, but true.
Or Stu Leonard's worker, or shopify worker.
Yonker shopper. Central.
Yeah, because she
Avenue,
really show that Latin woman vengeance that is definitely built in there.
Yes.
So for this bat, it was close, but I'm gonna have to give it to Lorenzo. I think Lorenzo. I think you. I think on the one hand, I think you really went deep into how you were going to absolutely take out Johanna, but also I'm really interested in seeing how you're going to take out Taylor. I'm really interested in seeing like the next level of your death toll and how you're gonna get this death toll up. So round 2, final round, Taylor super speed versus Lorenzo teleportation. Taylor, since you won in the first round, I'm going to let you choose it this time. Heads or tails?
Heads.
And it is tails. Lorenzo gets the choice. Lorenzo, will you go first or second?
Yeah, I'm gonna go first. I'm gonna go rabbit on his
You're
ass.
going to go rabbit on him. All right, Lorenzo, go ahead.
All right. So the first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna suffocate him in his sleep by teleporting into his room and actually teleporting onto his face with a pillow. I was gonna like teleport onto his face with a pillow, and then he's just gonna be suffocated. There's not gonna be any super speed's not gonna do him any good because he's gonna be underneath the pillow, suffocating. And so, if anything, he's gonna suffocate faster than normal people.
Because he breathes faster. So, okay.
Right. Okay, so if that doesn't work, if he somehow manages to like get away from that, then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna make him chase me, right? Because as fast as he can go, I can still go faster than the speed of light, because I can actually be one place and then be the next place. So what I would do was I would teleport away from him, right? Like going like say like 50 feet at a time, just like teleport. So then he's chasing me, and what I'll do is I'll teleport right past a couple of trees, and on the trees there will be piano going from one tree to the other tree, and so as he's chasing me, he's gonna just chop off his own head.
Okay. I thought that Johanna was the most brutal here, but clearly Literally.
This is the knockout round. Malik. This is the final round. This is it. This is Argentina versus Germany right now, baby.
Lorenzo is not playing around. He's going with the piano wire. Actually, the fact that you have a backup plan for your first kill attempt is amazing to me. Taylor, you are up. What is your comeback?
All right, cool. So, all right, Lorenzo, you're gonna meet me at my house and then suffocate me in my sleep, right?
Yeah, that's plan A.
Plan A, okay. And then if that doesn't work, you're gonna have me chase you through a forest, right?
That's plan B.
Okay, cool. So I will put that in my Outlook calendar. I will be prepared to meet up with you. And we'll schedule it sometime between like 9 and 5. And because I'm Loki, I'm not going to show up. In the meantime, I'm going to go watch a couple of Netflix movies, make myself a nice big bowl of some chips, something else that has snack on, and then I'm going to go back out into the Atlantic, build up a nice little tornado, put some sharks in it, find you at the entire full 40 round, and drop a Sharknado on you.
Malik,
Oh my God!
You know what? Your only defense is gonna be is that I'm probably gonna do all the stuff that I'm gonna do to Malik, and then you're gonna be like, and then you're gonna see what happened, and then you're just gonna like run at me with a knife and then kill me. But other than that, Taylor, like I see Sharknado coming at me, I'm out, man. I'm out. I'm gone. You're not gonna catch me with a Sharknado. But even before that, how are you gonna? Okay, you have the power to move really fast. You do not have the power to lift sharks up and move sharks
and create
around.
tornadoes, right? Like,
I mean, you could maybe run on water and like create like a monsoon or whatever. But then you got to go get a shark. The shark. I think that's you're getting into more power than you actually have. That's what I think. You're overstepping. You're reaching too high into the sky. You're gonna go down like Icarus.
Not right now. Tornadoes, sharks. You are not Bill Paxton.
Taylor credit for finding a way to put sharks into a battle. For finding a way to use Sharknado as a weapon in his battle. I swear, that's amazing. That's amazing.
No, it's great.
It's not weapons of shark destruction.
It's not gonna work. It's great though. I love it.
No, it
would work against Joe, and it would work against Johanna, but no.
what, Sharknado?
My Luke Cage power, yeah, Sharknado probably would work.
Because Johanna, I didn't even get to my plan B with you.
Oh my God.
I had a plan B for you, but
Really?
Yeah.
Really?
What I would do is I would get a bunch of meat, and then I would go above your head and just start dropping meat bombs on you.
Oh God!
And then like you would be using you would like concentrate all your telekinesis on like making sure these meat bombs don't get anywhere near you. And then while you're doing that, I just teleport behind you like a smoke monster and take you out. That was my plan B for you. And so.
Oh my goodness.
So
wow.
You might get a Sharknado on you, but
No, I wouldn't.
I ain't going out with no Sharknado.
I have telekinesis. I can move the sharks away from
How
me.
many sharks though can you control?
It doesn't matter. I have unlimited
They're all in the same
telekinetic
tornado.
No. Those sharks are individual sharks that you cannot control in a group. So you have to control each
It
one.
worked in the movie.
Each one takes like energy to think about and to make sure you stop. And so then when you have,
though, I was
What?
clever. I didn't ask Malik the limits of my power. Therefore,
Yeah,
my
She just
powers
went with
are
it.
unlimited.
no.
I'm like Lucy.
Well, whatever. That's not my thing. I'm not throwing sharks at you. I'm throwing flesh bombs. Flesh
Oh
bombs.
God.
Your
Flesh
weakness.
bombs.
I see. I'm taking advantage of your weaknesses.
The one thing Lorenzo definitely does is he knows you well enough to know exactly how to kill you.
I know.
And I know that Taylor loves to sleep. That is like he will sleep during a podcast. You know, that's the thing. Like while he's asleep during the podcast, that is when I teleport over and sit on his face with a pillow.
Oh, that's great. Look, Lorenzo, you took the cake. You took the cake. You took the cake. Taylor's sleeping. Taylor's narcolepsy would definitely come into play because he'd probably fall asleep while running or something like that.
See, I would have been more impressed, Lorenzo, if you said you're going to teleport to a hardware store and get yourself a chainsaw and get yourself out of that situation.
Not even necessary. You got a pillow on your head.
Taylor, I don't know why you didn't run back in time and kill him before he was born. Or kill his mom.
I'm Quicksilver.
He's got
That's my power.
He's got Quicksilver power.
He doesn't have the Flash Speed Force. He doesn't have that.
See, that's what happens when you ask.
Well.
Yeah, Joe, you could have went with the Hulk powers, but then you asked me, so then I had to take it away.
Well, because I read the description of super strength and it varies, so I wanted to play by some kind of rules. That's where I made the mistake. Rules.
There are no rules.
I would say there are no rules in a superhero battle to the death. There's no rules in there.
Rules of the discussion, rather.
Well, it's Lorenzo's wild card tactics and his ability to plan the death of his counterparts that gives Lorenzo the teleporter, the win in the first agent debate, the agent superpower debate.
Nice.
Lorenzo, you have won. You have murdered both. The only thing I think that would actually derail you is, like you said, you'd probably wind up killing me just because you didn't realize that you were not fighting Taylor.
You or Denzel, one of the two.
Watch out, Denzel. Wait, I didn't kill Taylor?
Why was Lawrence Fishburne smothered in his sleep last night?
Yeah, so Lorenzo would definitely find a way to teleport into some other black guy's house. Well, I got one of you, so I'm okay. Well, guys, this was great. I'm so happy that you guys we're really winning on this. I'll definitely think I'm gonna think long and hard about the next time I ask you guys what the hell you want to do and what your powers would be, because the next fight's gonna be big. The next fight, we're gonna pick some different powers. We'll make it so that Joe's a little more powerful.
I'm not asking.
So he won't be so whiny.
I'm not asking next time. I'm gonna whine him to death.
But with that, we have reached the end of the Superpowers episode of Agents of Helm. Do you guys have any final thoughts? Any final things to say? No. Okay.
Cage. Why did it have to be Luke Cage? I don't care if he's getting a Netflix series.
I'm gonna say you're getting your own show very soon, Joe.
Yeah, they can get anybody to play that.
Well, for Johanna, Joe, Lorenzo, Taylor, I am Malik. We are the Agents of Helm. We hope you had a great time listening to us tonight. And so enjoy your weekends, and we will be back to you guys next week. The wild card, Mr. Lorenzo, will be moderating our next podcast, if I'm not mistaken, correct?
Yeah, that's right. I'm excited. Oh, by the way, Nicole Kidman, the interpreter.
Nicole Kidman, that's right. Okay. And so we will look forward to you bringing the intensity of our podcast up to the level that you see fit. Since we have to meet a certain criteria that we're not currently meeting in your eyes. Well,
what are you talking about?
Well, that's what you said.
This is an off-air conversation.
And it's not the first time.
No.
Nothing's off air. We're all on air except for the conversation we're gonna have with Marcelo about your about some of your other abilities. So again, guys, you can reach us on agentsofhelm.com, Twitter, Facebook, Pinterest. Am I missing any of the other ones?
Tumblr, I think.
Tumblr. You can reach us. We're all at Agents of Helm. And individually, my Twitter handle is mrnick147. Johanna?
Inky Octopus.
Joe?
Jam9270.
And Lorenzo?
I don't know.
It's
Renzo.
Renzo.
Yes, we have to tell Lorenzo what his is.
With 3's instead of E's and 0's instead of O's. Renzo.
And just for good measure, even though he's never going to respond to you, Taylor.
I think he's gone already.
He did an Irish goodbye.
Bedtime.
Sorry, technical difficulty.
Taylor, have you created a Twitter handle by now?
Yes, I did. You can catch me on Twitter at Rise Industries.
You didn't hear that correctly because of his horrible T-Pain impersonation. That was Rise Industries.
Where do you get fun Russian electronics?
And maybe some of Joe's movies.
Yeah. They're all homemade.
You guys should definitely partner up.
Yeah.
That's another social group you can be a member of. Well, guys, I had a great time. Thanks a lot for joining. We are out. Have a great night. Peace.
Later.
Night.
Deuces.